Welcome to the 11th episode of the MousekaBros podcast. Hi, I'm Ryan.
And I'm his brother Randy. Be sure to like us on Facebook at the MousekaBros. We will be releasing new episodes every Friday, so make sure you subscribe to get the latest podcast. If you have any suggestions for upcoming shows or just want to say hi, you can email us at mousekabrospodcast@gmail.com.
If you're planning your next Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, or Universal Orlando vacation, you're going to want to reach out to me, Ryan .noppinger, with Capture the Magic Vacations. You can reach me at ryan.noppinger at ctmvagent.com. This is a no-cost-to-use service to use me as your travel agent. I'll make sure you get the best vacation package or deal for your whole family. I can also help make dining reservations and plan Fastpasses to make planning your Disney vacation less stressful and more magical.
On today's episode, we have another segment of Love It, Hate It, Update It. In this series, we discuss topics such as attractions, dining, and all things Disney. As a reminder, we will give 2 Love It's, 2 Hate It's, and 2 Update It's. Today's topic is Animal Kingdom attractions. I'm really excited about this just because I feel like in every park, there's always like a couple that are like definitely Love It's, definitely Hate It's, and definitely Update It's. But I feel that Animal Kingdom is the most diverse in these categories just because, we can kind of say that there's probably one that we both have in the Love It category. But then like everything else is, I feel like it's like up in the air because it's,
I feel like it has a lot going on in a good way.
Right. Yeah, no, I completely agree.
It's got everything for, the thrill seekers, and it has everything for you just want to chill out and watch animals all day.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what our list is.
You want to go first?
Ours is. You want me to go first?
Go ahead.
Okay. Let's just
knock this one out of the park.
Yeah. let's just talk about it. My first Love It is Avatar: Flight of Passage.
Oh, that was your. That's mine too. I know. I'm just.
This opened May 27th, 2017, in Pandora, the world of Avatar land thing. All right.
Blue people
yeah,
land.
Blue people. As Disney puts it, fly on the back of a mountain banshee during this exhilarating 3D ride above the Vizar moon, only at Pandora, the world of Avatar. Sorry if I butchered the moon name, Zar. Anyway, I have only gotten to ride it twice. We did it in the same trip. We did the queue, which was, it said it was 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
But it really didn't feel like that because it kept moving, and the queue was awesome. There was so much to look at. At every turn, you were looking at kind of something new. It just wasn't like a bunch of like zigzags back and forth, like straight lines where you're looking at the same texture, same wall.
Yeah, no, especially if you're doing it for the first time, what is that? Oh, what is that? The second time is where you're like, yeah, this is around the corner, or, oh, I can't wait to see, this again or that again, where it gets kind of, familiar. But, I'll interject. But as a tip, if you go towards park close is actually, when you'll get the best wait for it. Even though it may say a 2-hour wait, if you go 10 to 15 minutes before the park closes, you could potentially actually go 5 minutes before the park closes, because they don't close the line until if the park closes at 9, they don't close off the line until 9.
So you can get in the line at like 8:59.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Maybe I wouldn't push it that far, so that's why I say like 10 to 15 minutes. So, as a just in case the ride goes down, at least you're still in line, because once you're in line, you're guaranteed to ride unless, the ride goes down. But in that case, the line may say 2 hours, but really the couple times, I think we did it at night, and then the couple times I've done it, on separate vacations, it's only been an hour, a little over an hour.
I will say the Fastpass queue is very depressing. basically you like walk in, make one turn, and then you're like ready to board the ride. So, I'll say that's kind of depressing. Like I get it, it's Fastpass, so you're going to skip the whole line. I just wish there was like a little more to see. We've just spent 2 minutes talking about this, and we're only talking about the queue. We haven't even talked about the ride. The ride system is incredible. It's kind of like the Back to the Future Simpsons ride in Universal, kind of like a Soarin' almost. It's a little rougher than Soarin', but like not in a bad way. Like I feel like using the word rougher makes it seem that it's like terrible. Like while Soarin', you kind of just sit and then like you glide to the right or glide to the left. This one, you're actually moving up or down 4 feet either way. I think the biggest drop is 8 feet because you're all the way up and then you go all the way down.
Yeah.
But it's not motion sickness. Like our father gets motion sickness very easily. Yeah, very easily. We did Mission Space and he had to sit down for a minute after it.
We almost thought we had to call somebody.
Yeah. But he did it and he felt a little wonky, but he was fine with it. So it's definitely like a smooth ride that almost anyone can do. Plus the 3D of it is phenomenal. I think the coolest part, and it's like the smallest part ever, the coolest part about riding this Banshee is that you can feel him breathing on your legs.
Yeah.
Like I know it's probably just like bags filling up with air and then releasing. But
it's that small detail in this ride that makes everything flow together, that just makes it a very unique experience.
Completely immerses you. And like what I like about it too is that you're sitting in such a weird way that it's almost uncomfortable to look right or left. So really you're only looking straight and you really can't see anybody else. Unlike Soarin' when you have, you can see people's feet, you can look down the row. Like it really feels like it's your own ride.
Yeah. If you're getting on it for the first time, I would suggest not to look, don't purposefully look, left or right to look at other riders or anything like that. Just focus straight ahead, because if you focus straight ahead, it definitely feels like it's only you and you're flying this Banshee, in the world of Avatar, and it's just breathtaking. There's some guests that get off the ride crying because it's so overwhelming with emotions that you're riding on this back of a Banshee.
I've literally not seen one person cry about it.
Well, maybe it was only me crying, but no, I did not cry. For the record, I did not cry. But when it first opened, when I think I was there a couple months after it opened, and there were definitely people like tearing up a little bit.
Probably nobody was tearing up. They were tearing up because they were about to vomit from emotion.
No, I'm just kidding. They were.
No.
I think Mom even cried. I guarantee.
Mom cries at everything.
That's true.
It doesn't matter
but
what
I guarantee
it is.
then she cried.
All right. Is it?
Well, I'll also say, oh gosh, now I can't remember what you said, but the cast member said, it's like Soarin' and Star Tours. Kind of a mix.
Yeah, okay. I think that's a better mix.
Yeah, at least that's what cast members like suggest when you ask, "Oh, hey, what's this ride like?" They're like, "Oh yeah, well, it's like Soarin' at Epcot and Star Tours from Hollywood Studios," and you're like, "Okay."
But it's not as rough as Star Tours.
No, like I get it, but at the same time, it's not.
Right. It's like right in the middle between Soarin' and Star Tours.
Yeah.
That like if it was any rougher, it would be a rough ride. It's incredible.
Oh,
if it was any rougher, it would
be a
rough.
rough ride.
Wow.
Well, and it's interesting too that they call it a 3D ride, even though you do put on glasses, but there are effects with like Soarin', the smells, and my favorite of the whole attraction is the water effect. And when I mean water effect, when you think of 3D and a water effect, you just think like you just get soaked with water that drips from a hose that's been there for 20 years.
Yeah, or like a jet stream that right in your forehead.
Yeah, but it's not like that at all. It makes you feel like you get misted as you were flying right next to a waterfall.
You just paint a picture with your words. You get misted from the mist from the waterfall when it's falling.
That'll be my next podcast. Ryan's Way with Words. Please join us on this 4-hour endeavor.
Where I read the dictionary and pronounce every other word wrong.
Yeah, that would be about it. I would, every other, Maybe everywhere. I don't know. There'd be something in that. Well, I mean, I guess since we both talked about our both love it's, like I said, mine was definitely Flight of Passage, and yours was. So I'll let you go and swing over to your number 2.
It is, and I think you're going to disagree with me, but my number 2 love it is Expedition Everest.
Okay. No, I don't disagree yet.
Let me state my case. It opened April 7th, 2006, and as Disney puts it through the app, careened through the Himalayan mountains on a speeding train while avoiding the clutches of the mythic abominable snowman. I don't like the word careen. They can't just say like travel or like ride or something.
Climb.
They had to like be. I don't know. I don't even know. So, I will say that a few months after the ride opening, it went into B mode. It was in A mode, and where the Yeti could swing its arm, it could move and do all this stuff like it was attacking. B mode, or better known as Disco Yeti, has fans and like strobe lights to make it look like it's moving. Basically what happened is this entire ride is 3 structures. It is the coaster, the mountain, and the Yeti. None of those structures are touching. Everything is completely separate. So when they were designing it, they wanted this Yeti to be full functioning and motioning and everything. So they built support beams for the Yeti to support that vibration. What they didn't calculate, and which is a big calculation that I don't know why they didn't think of. They didn't calculate the vibration from the coaster. While it's not touching, there's still going to be a vibration. It's still going to vibrate the ground that it's sitting. So that vibration actually started to cause foundation cracks from the Yeti. So they turned it off in B mode so it wouldn't crack. And the only way to replace it is to rip out like chunks of the ride and take the Yeti out and, then fix everything. And doing that would take years. I feel, I don't know. I'm not really an engineer. I don't build anything, but it would take a really long time for them. So, and that's a big ride. I don't know. Maybe with Pandora Land, maybe now you could do it.
Yeah, maybe they can do it.
Anyway, so why it's on my love it is because it is still a good roller coaster. It has a full story still. You're still going backwards, right? You still have like where you see the shadow of the Yeti ripping up the track that you just saw was ripped up. Then you have the big drop and you're going through the mountain at speeds that I don't know. But that's fast. You go fast downhill.
You go fast on a roller coaster.
And then you still do see the Yeti, this thing that has, this entire ride is building up to. Yeah, it's not swinging at the track, but it's still there. And it's still, if you're not expecting it, it's oh my gosh, what was that? Because you only see it for a split second. And if you're not paying attention, you really could miss it. If you if you're like my fiance who closes her eyes every time she goes into the cave and hasn't seen the Yeti once. Anyway, but it's still a good ride. Do I wish the Yeti was working? Yeah, but it's still a very fun coaster.
Yeah. So I have that. I'll jump ahead to my updated. Okay. Not that I don't like it. It's just updated. It's just so sad to see, one of the key components to this whole ride just break after a couple, months after it opening.
I completely agree. So, but my thing is, and I'll let you continue. But my thing is, I feel like because it's in B mode or Disco Yeti, I feel like a lot of people don't give it enough like raps for it. Like I feel like people like now hate the ride because of it.
Yeah, but if and again, I guess if you never knew that there was an A mode, B mode, and you're just getting on it for the first time, you're thinking, oh wow, that's a really tall Yeti, like and that's it, and that's fine. But if the ride were to completely just open in B mode, we would never know that it had an A mode, and that would be the ride how it is today, and we'd all be okay with that. I actually do have some more interesting facts. So it's 25 feet tall, and it's controlled by 19 actuators when functioning in A mode. In A mode, it can move 5 feet horizontally and 18 inches vertically.
That's a lot of movement from an animatronic. That's incredible.
Yeah, no, and when researching the A mode, B mode, because I knew that there was an A mode, B mode, but I didn't know. I don't think I ever got on it in A mode.
I think we got on it once because I remember seeing it moving.
And I really can't remember.
But it must have been one time when it fresh opened because it was not in A mode for very long.
Yeah, no, and yeah, I almost want to just search on YouTube for like A mode working Yeti just to see a refresher of what it looked like, but then that would probably make me sad of like
oh my gosh, look what we had.
That's what we should have gotten. And we didn't at all. And then funny enough too, Joe Brody, well not funny enough, but Joe Brody, the Imagineer in charge of building the attraction and Animal Kingdom, was asked about the Yeti at the 2013 D23 Expo. And he responded, you have to understand it's a giant, complicated machine sitting on top of like a 40-foot tall tower in the middle of a finished building. So it's really hard to fix, but we are working on it and we continue to work on it. We have tried several things. None of them quite get to turn the key on this 40-foot tower inside the finished building, but we are working on it. I will fix the Yeti someday, I swear. So
yeah, I remember watching that clip.
Yeah, I mean, not that I don't believe that he's working on it, because he literally built Animal Kingdom like himself.
He built it himself. No construction workers were there.
No, nothing.
One-man show.
He said, Animal Kingdom B, and it was.
And then he got another piercing on his ear.
Yeah. But no, a great Imagineer. Really, what Imagineer means when is Joe Brody, is what I relate both of them to. So I hope they fix it. I hope they fix it one day, but or not, just take it out and put a smaller animatronic in. That would functionally work and not crack the foundation. But
see, it's. I think it's funny using the word. He's a great Imagineer, and he is. I mean, what he has done with Animal Kingdom is unbelievable. But to call him a great Imagineer and then have to miss a calculation that's, super important. Two, from looking from the other side, like you brought up, like it's in B mode, but if it came out in B mode, would we even know what we're missing? Right.
Yeah.
I can look at it now, knowing what I know, and saying, oh, well, how did they not calculate that? But I've never once designed anything. I've never built anything. So, it's easy for me to say, point fingers at, him, but yeah. All right, so your second love it.
So my second love it is going to be Dinosaur. So it opened on April 22nd, 1998. Disney says, take off on a scary prehistoric tour aboard a rip-roaring time rover to save a dinosaur from extinction.
What is a rip-roaring time rover?
Rip-roaring time rover. Well, it is very rip-roaring. So it's a dark ride that features a turbulent voyage through the late Cretaceous period. I've always wanted to say Cretaceous period. Containing prehistoric scenes populated with dinosaur audio animatronics. This attraction was originally named Countdown to Extinction when the park opened in 1998. The name was later changed to Dinosaur to promote the Disney animated film with the same name.
Do you know what they changed after the movie came out? Do you know what they changed in the ride?
What?
There's a big update. No, they changed the pre-show. That was it. So it's one of those scenarios that like Pirates of the Caribbean. Like the ride inspired a movie, and then the movie kind of inspired the ride. Not to the same extent, because when after the movie came out, they changed the name to promote it, and then when it came out, they changed the pre-show to actually have scenes from the movie to kind of, get that relationship between bringing the movies into the parks. But they did not change any of the dinosaurs. It did. I know this because it's my update and I did research. So this is my first update, and I probably should have started out with that. The original ride featured an iguanodon and a carnosaurus. I think I said that right.
It sounded right.
Yeah, so
it sounded good.
It actually already featured those, and then the movie came out featuring the same characters, Aladar, the Iguanodon, and then like the evil Carnotaurus. I think I just said it way worse.
You are a dinosaur person.
So I think it's interesting, but
so interesting that it has the same ride system used for Indiana Jones Adventure Temple of the Forbidden Eye, which opened March 3rd, 1995, which is interesting.
Well, what's even more interesting is that it's not only the same ride vehicle, it's the exact same ride layout.
Yeah.
So
it's a copy-paste from Disneyland.
It's a copy-paste, and wow, did we get the bad end of the stick.
You think? No, I don't think so.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't think so. Like, I like that, they used the same, ride attraction. They fit both rides. I'm not saying I don't like the Indiana Jones one, because I like both of them for different reasons. I like Indiana Jones. It fits Disneyland, but dinosaurs, of course it fits Dino Land, but, okay, if you start to get into the conversation of Indiana Jones taking over Dino Land, well then, yes, that just makes sense.
Right, but it doesn't fit Animal Kingdom, though.
No. And I know that's been rumored as a revamp for the area for Indiana Jones. I don't think that's ever going to happen.
No, I don't think that's the answer.
Especially now because they have Donald's Dino Bash in there, and that doesn't seem temporary, at least.
No,
to me,
I agree.
It has a lot of good hubbub about it, I guess. And the whole, I guess, idea around Donald's Dino Bash, Disney says that Donald has recently found out that his ancestors were actually dinosaurs. And to mark this unexpected discovery, he's transformed the land into a celebration for the ages. Just for the ages sounds like it's going to be, it's going to be there for a while.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it needed the Dino Bash. I mean, because, Dino Land started off as just like a kind of, like every land is featured in Animal Kingdom except America, like the USA, kind of region. But really, Dino Land is kind of that area because it's a carnival. There's like carnivals here. I know it's like not set anywhere, but like this is me, theorizing. Yeah. Like this is like the USA version of animals, I guess.
So at Donald's Dino Bash, I'm getting off topic, but you can meet Donald, Daisy, Goofy, Pluto, Scrooge McDuck, and Launchpad McQuack. And you can also meet Chip and Dale in their inspired dinosaur costumes. So I've been to this, and it's awesome. Scrooge McDuck and Launchpad, as I'm literally wearing a DuckTales shirt right now, it was my childhood. So, being able to now meet these characters back from the 90s is awesome. I like that the revamp of it all.
Have you watched the new series?
I have, and
I like it.
I kind of like it.
I like it.
Yeah. But I guess that's my final thoughts, and my wife would agree that I love dinosaurs. She loves dinosaurs. We both love the theming. We both love this ride. I just all around love this attraction, and it's a must-do every time we go to Animal Kingdom.
Okay, so now my turn because I'm going to go to update it. I will say this ride has probably some of the most memorable quotes. I mean, even when you're driving down the highway, you're just like, right, left.
Oh, there's countless times during the day where I'm like, we're not going to make it. Left, right, left.
Why I put it under the updated is because I do like, there's this one scene where you have the dinosaurs that were supposed to be jumping over, and it was just lights. And they actually added a screen there. So, kind of like the Navi River Journey, where it's like a screen and you see like the dinosaurs running. Cool, right? It made it cooler. When you're not in a scene, though, you are in darkness.
Oh, it's completely pitch black.
Which adds to some extent. But when it's like in between every single scene, when you're in, copious amounts of darkness, I feel like you kind of lose it almost. Yeah, I get the whole idea is you're not supposed to know where you're going. You don't know what's going to happen next. Every ride is different between the ride vehicle. But I still wish there was still some more to see. Comparing it to Indiana Jones in Disneyland, I mean, you look right and left, you're going to see something different, and you're looking at something the entire time. There's one scene in Indiana Jones where it's darkness, and then the light comes on to reveal all the bugs. So then, like, your car drives after it's stopped. If it was something like that, but even then, they still have the car stopping in Dinosaur, where, you hear the footsteps getting closer and your car won't go. I just wish there was more to look at, not so much in darkness. I'm not saying to not use the darkness at all. I just wish there wasn't as much darkness as there is.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a dark ride, like I said, but I just overall like it, when it's pitch black and because you're at, nighttime trying to get this dinosaur and, and the computer's like lost attraction and you are in pitch black and you're like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen next? And then and then you go and find more dinosaurs or, the even bigger one. But
no, and I get it. Don't get me wrong. This isn't saying that this is an updated category. Like, this is still a great ride. It is a must do. I just wish it was better than what it is, because it could be better than what it is.
Yeah, I think if I had to agree with you, the updated for me, I guess, in it would come from, I guess, the whole pre-show type of thing. I wish they built up more of the museum-esque of it. That you're walking into a dinosaur museum. It feels like you walk into this, the first room and you see some plants and stuff. And then you get into the other room and it's like you can barely hear Bill Nye the Science Guy, talk about the dinosaurs. And there's a dinosaur, in the center of the room, which it has that museum feel. But then after that, you go right into the pre-show. So, it's like they don't build it up enough, which I get, but that would be my only updated, even though I still love the ride.
All right, so you hate it now? Or do you want to just, you know what, we're going to change it up. I'm throwing a curveball. We only have one more updated each. Let's just finish that category since we're on it already.
Okay.
And we'll do hate it last.
All right, so I'll go with my updated. I don't want to say you can send all hate mail to me, but you can, I guess. So mine's going to be Navi River Journey.
For the updated?
Yep.
Okay.
So it opened May 27th, 2017. Funny enough, because it's, not even a year old yet. So Disney says, journey deep into a bioluminescent rainforest in search of the Navi shaman?
Shaman?
That's what I was going to say.
It's like
shaman.
Yeah.
So in search of the Navi shaman of songs only at Pandora, the world of Avatar. I love that they say only at Pandora, the world of Avatar.
It's like
at the end of each description.
But isn't everything?
It's like branding.
But Expedition Everest only at Asia.
No, but it's funny how they say Pandora, only at Pandora. Well, I mean, you can only do that at Animal Kingdom. Like, you can only do that at Disney.
Right. No, I know. It's just
it's funny.
Yeah.
So for me, it's great to do once. But as you like to say, Randy, it has no rewritability for me. Rewritability. To me, it's either like Small World but Avatar, or it's like the Grand Fiesta Tour at the Mexico Pavilion.
That's a great ride.
With one animatronic at the end. No, but think about it.
No,
like the Grand Fiesta Tour it's all screens and props.
Except the one part that it's not.
Well, except the end.
And the middle part. Where it's like, it's a small world.
Okay. Well, but anyway, there's, at the end of this, you go through this awesome bioluminescent rainforest, and then you are greeted with the most advanced audio animatronic to date. But it's still only a 4.5 to 5 minute boat ride.
Have you seen that? Have you seen the video? I'm getting off topic. The video for that bell that they're coming up with for Disneyland Paris.
That's intense.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Well, but all that, and what you just said with the animatronic for Belle and this one, they have all of these great animatronics and stuff like that. And that's what Disney is to me, and audio animatronics, but then to only have one stellar one and everything else is screens and all that, to me, I feel like you lose that.
It's almost like the audio animatronic is the main attraction. It's a meet and greet for the animatronic.
And you're taking, a boat ride just to see that one animatronic, and that's it. I think I was trying to find the story, but I couldn't find it. I think they had to slow down the water because it was too fast.
Yes.
And so how would they make a ride that's too fast? Like, the water was moving too fast, moving the boat then too fast, that then there was a backup at the loading dock.
And I don't think people were getting enough to look around,
enough immersion for it. I mean, it just, I don't know if the answer was to build it double the size, or I don't know.
We're skipping around a lot this episode. I like it. It's my number one hate it.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. It's my hate it. Because the main reason is that the ride is about the audio animatronic. That is exactly what it is. And you're going to wait an hour for it. We're not waiting an hour.
Oh no.
So then we have to waste a fast pass. When really I would rather do a Avatar Flight of Passage, have that for 2 fast passes. And just wait, 15 minutes for the Navi River journey. Especially if you haven't done it. It is incredible. But to wait an hour for it, that is something that I am not about. It is not worth an hour wait at all.
No. To me, it's either fast pass it or skip. I'd rather take that time if it was, an hour wait for it. Like you said, I'd rather take that hour and wait for Flight of Passage to do it again.
Absolutely.
And what's funny is if you haven't seen the movies or looked anything up about Avatar and what it is, and you get on that first, you're riding through a rainforest. There's nothing to tell you, this is why this is here.
Right.
Which is very interesting.
Flight of Passage tells you that.
Oh, yeah, no, the whole pre-show for Flight of Passage tell you that. You know, and I guess it's on an update for me if they had a guide or like a recorded of a guide on it to explain what stuff is. Like, what type of animal am I looking at, running through the forest?
To do that, though, they would need to extend it. And really, because if I'm not mistaken, which I guarantee you I am, I think it might share the same space as Flight of Passage. Not the same space, but the same warehouse.
Show building.
Yeah, building. Yeah. So I feel like it's what its size is because they can't go bigger. I feel like they made it as big as possible, and it still is just
tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe the update for me is just give it a storyline, a real Disney honest storyline. I feel like that's what this boat ride is lacking. I will say that it definitely does set up Flight of Passage. If you do Navi River journey and then you go right on Flight of Passage, it does give you that more of immersion experience for Flight of Passage. It's only going to set up Flight of Passage even better.
Right, but you definitely cannot go Flight of Passage then journey.
No, you'd be like this. What? I waited in line for this?
Excuse me.
I should have just got popcorn. No. But off topic, funny story. So I don't know why we went in July, but we went in July to Disney over July 4th, that whole week, rather. And the other couple we were with, I was showing them, Pandora, and we decided to rope drop it. And boy, was that a bad idea. So and I don't know if there's 2 ways you can go to Pandora. You can either go kind of left when you get into the park, or you can go up and around Africa. And they must have let the Africa line in first, right? Because we were halfway on our way to Africa by the time we entered Pandora, it was very, very confusing. Well, anyway, we walked by a sign and it says, I think it said 300 minutes, and we're like, well, the park just opened. There's no way it could say that. We hear these other people, I think they were behind us or next to us, or we just walked by and we're like, 300 minutes, that's not bad, that's only 3 hours.
Oh, poor people.
And you see, I didn't get it at first because I'm a little slow, but my wife and my friend Alex that we were with and his girlfriend, they got it and looked at each other and they were like, did we just hear her say that it's only 3 hours? And we're like, And then they told me after, and I was like, no, I didn't hear it at all. But it was hilarious.
Yeah, that's sad. that's where math comes in. Okay, so then let me finish the update it, and then we can do hate it. So my update it is Kali River Rapids, which opened March 18th, 1999. Disney says, set out on a rip-roaring river raft ride.
They like that word, rip-roaring.
That's a tongue twister, rip-roaring river raft ride.
Say that 10 times fast.
I can't. Through a lush jungle landscape ravaged by illegal logging. This ride got hit with major budget cuts, and you can tell. Because when they were building it, they had like all these grand schemes and plans, and then budget cuts came, and this ride got hit. So then it's definitely not the ride that they planned it to be. The saving grace for me, it's a fun water ride. You get soaked. It's a fun family water ride. But it still has a story and still kind of stays true to Animal Kingdom, which is like kind of respecting animal life. This ride features an illegal logging scene where it kind of deforestation. I just completely butchered that word. It's fine. Y'all know what I meant. Where like the trees are down, everything's kind of burning. It really shows what we are actually doing to get our wood. I mean, when you do it legally, it's probably not like that, but when you do it illegally in, countries that probably don't really have like laws or I don't know, but yeah, that it still has that kind of stay true to the nature. I really like that feel. I just wish they could do more with it and make it a better water ride. Because really, it has one big drop and then everything else is just rapids and you get sprayed with some hoses at the end.
Yeah. There's still... I haven't ridden it in so long.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. I just don't like to get like soaked at the parks. Like I just don't want to walk around in wet clothes all day, even though I know sometimes it goes like heat index is like plus 100, but
yeah, but it's like, I'm going to say it's like Splash Mountain, but it's not, because like Splash Mountain, yeah, you can get wet, but like on Kali River Rapids, you get drenched. You are soaked. You are dripping walking off.
Yeah.
And like there was one time that me and Dad, it was forever ago, we had 4 Fastpasses because you and Mom didn't want to do it, and we had Fastpass. This was the old system, the ticketed system. So we were like, okay, we'll do it 2 times. It'll be fun, and then we'll go back to the hotel because it's the last thing that we were doing before we went back for a nap. So we rid it 2 times, rid it, whatever, 2 times, and as we got off, somebody handed us another 6 Fastpasses. So they gave us 3 times. So me and him did it 5 times in a row. And it was so much fun. So like I have memories with it. That's why I don't want them to get rid of it. But like but it's still not that great. Like I wish they could do more with the story or something.
If I remember, I think like right before the big drop that it was supposed to have more effects.
It was supposed to have
a lot more fire.
Yeah, because it was supposed to really like heat you up before it cooled you down.
Yeah.
Like it was supposed to be a lot more. But then it's been so long. I think they even stopped the fire and smoke because it kind of freaked the animals out.
That
so
makes sense.
it might not even have that. It might just be like trees laying down.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was supposed to have a lot more. It was supposed to go through like temples and stuff. Like you were really in the jungle.
Yeah.
But now it's just like you go up, down.
It's like any other rapid ride,
right?
To me,
and I think that's the biggest thing. It's like any other rapid ride, and that's not what Disney doesn't do. It's just the same as X, Y, and Z. Disney does its own thing.
Yeah,
and I think they kind of messed up with this ride with the budget cuts. But we all know how the budget cut era went.
It's always budget cuts.
So that's all I have to say on the ride. I don't know if you want to have anything to add or want to keep moving on.
I agree. Cool. I haven't ridden it in forever.
All right.
So
let's talk about Hate It.
Yeah. On to Hate It. So I'll start off with my Hate It. And we've already kind of touched on the land, but it's Triceratops Spin. Opened November 1st, 2001. Disney says, fly high on a dinosaur around a twirling tin toy top at this delightful carnival-inspired attraction. To me, it's the beaten record that you already have 3 of these attractions. A magic carpet, Dumbo and Astro Orbiters. Now, I know it's in another park at Magic Kingdom, but do you really need one more?
Yeah, no, I agree.
I'm sure kids get a kick out of it. I've never gotten on it. I most likely will probably never get on it because I like doing Dumbo that much, so I'm not going to just get on all of their rides that I can go up and down on, which I guess that's a lot of... Anyway, those types of rides like Dumbo and Magic Carpet and Astro Orbiters. But I just don't get it.
No, I agree. I mean, when we did Magic Kingdom, Love It, Hate It, Update It, one of my hate-its was the Aladdin Magic Carpet ride spin thing, mabob. Because like Dumbo is Dumbo, it's iconic to the park, right? You can recognize the Dumbo ride no matter what type of picture it is. And then Astro Orbiter is a little bit different because you got to take an elevator up and then you can go still higher from that. So like you're pretty high. You're probably almost as tall as the castle.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe. And then like Aladdin and Triceratops spin, they just need to go. They didn't know what to put there, so I feel like they just put that there as a filler.
Like a copy and paste type of thing.
Yeah,
and that was it. And I guess that right aside, I guess this goes on a off topic, but just Dinoland overall needs some love. I agree. It's not the place to have carnival games. It's not. This isn't Six Flags. We're not at Six Flags.
Dinoland in general feels just like they had the space and they didn't know what to do with it. One thing led to another with budget cuts, and this is kind of what they came up with.
I mean, could you? So let's say then you had the plan for I've heard some tips, and I want to see Pandora at night. So let's go to Dinoland first and work our way around. If this is your first time coming into Animal Kingdom or even Walt Disney World, because Animal Kingdom's your first park you want to go to when you visit Disney World. Just think of that picture when walking into Dinoland and you're like, I'm at a zoo with a carnival. Wait, am I at a state fair?
Right. It feels like, when they had the space and they kind of put it in there, almost like temporary. They were like, let's just throw a couple things in here, so it's a space filler. Let's build up our other parks and then we'll come back to this and revisit it. But they never came back to it. So then they were just like, I guess it's there now.
I will say in this land overall, I do like the Primeval Whirl. I don't know why, but it's the mouse.
No, it's a spinning mouse. It's Six Flags has a spinning mouse. It's cool because there's a lot to see, but it's a spinning mouse. It's a good ride, but if someone was like, I absolutely hate Primeval Whirl, I would say, okay.
I see your point. Yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, it's the mouse. You can get it anywhere. I would think if any theme park, even if a local carnival had the mouse, I'd still get on it. It's just one of those rides. It's just like, I'll do it. I'll feel like a kid again. Why not?
Yeah, it's a fun ride. But if someone came to me today and was like, look, they're getting rid of Primeval Whirl. You have a month to ride it, and you're never going to see it again. It's like, okay, I'm not going to make a trip to go ride it.
I just make a trip to my local Six Flags.
And call it when I want. Call it a day.
Yeah.
All right, so my first hate it. Well, actually, my second hate it because Navi River Journey was my first hate it. So my second hate it is it's tough to be a bug. This opened April 22nd, 1998. Discover what it's like to be a bug during this 3D, which is horribly wrong, 3D film and live show inspired by the Disney Pixar film A Bug's Life. Okay, this is from Disney. This is not a 3D ride at all. There is stuff on your butt on the seat. There's stuff on your back. You get sprayed with water. You get sprayed with air. You have it's a 4D ride. I don't know why they said 3D.
This is my hate it as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And to be honest, I didn't think this would be on your hate it because I remember growing up. I think you used to love it.
Oh my god, you used to love it.
You loved it.
Loved it.
I can't stand anything that's like, I know they say 3D, but it's really 4D.
It is. I don't know why they said 3D.
I don't know why either. Maybe it's a misprint. Somebody hit 3 instead of 4. But I hate when stuff touches you. Goes underneath your feet. The water, the mist, the air, that's all fine in the context of like Muppet Vision or Mickey's Filler Magic. They're fun cartoons. They're not going to be, dangerous. But when it comes to bugs, I already wake up now after a dream. Have you ever woken up from a dream and like in your dream you're like, there's like bees or other spiders, and then you wake up and you're just like wailing your arms around? I should probably see somebody.
You should probably see somebody because I've never done that.
I freak out sometimes. But yeah, no, I can't stand anything. I think I maybe did this once growing up, and I will never do it again.
And yeah, and you did bring up a good point that when I was younger, I absolutely loved this ride. I love that ride. I love Stitch's Great Escape, but like, no one ever did it with me. Hated it.
Yeah, no, it wasn't me. It wasn't your big brother doing that. Nope.
But now that I'm older and have like, I can see why it's still fun for a kid, like a 4D movie for a kid. Like it's, I get it. But now having an appreciation, this is a giant theater and it's in the Tree of Life, and it's kind of sad that this is what's there. I feel like if they had like a nature movie or something.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. How many now other like icons can you go in and enjoy an attraction in? I know Hollywood Studios is getting their revamped, but
Epcot,
okay, well,
Spaceship Earth.
I know
Cinderella's Castle has a dining experience.
I don't even know why I talk.
Sleeping Beauty's castle in Disneyland has a walkthrough of the Sleeping Beauty story.
Yeah.
So that was a bad point.
I take back what I just said. I apologize.
No, but here's the difference, is that everything in those like icons, they make sense. Like in the Chinese theater, it was the Great Movie Ride, even though technically that wasn't the icon. It was the Eiffel Tower, and then the Magic Hat when it was there, it had a shop. But now it's back to the Chinese theater. I had the Great Movie Ride. That makes sense. Right now, that Chinese theater is going to have the Mickey Mouse cartoon train ride, which I'm super excited about. It makes sense, right? It's a movie. It's putting you in the movie. That's what Hollywood Studios is. Epcot, Planet Earth, learning about... You got to learn about the past before you can change the future. Right? You got to take care of the Earth. Something along those lines. It sounded good. It looks good on paper. Cinderella's Castle, you can dine with Cinderella and all the princesses. It makes sense. I guess bugs in a tree makes sense, but having the ability to walk around the tree, which the queue kind of does, and get up close with those carved out animals it's unbelievable.
That's the only cool thing. And I think the next time I'd go back, I would just walk the queue just to get closer to the tree, because I haven't seen it. You see it from afar, but you actually really see it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because you get right up close to it, to go do that and then leave the queue, because waste of time.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a waste of space. I would love to see like a nature movie or something. I don't know what movies.
I don't know either.
Attraction.
Something to immerse you in, because it's a big theater from what I remember.
It's like 400 seats.
Yeah.
It's a ginormous theater.
Yeah. I don't know what they could put there, but it needs to be something
not
Bug's Life.
To be a bug. Yeah.
Even if it was a Bug's Life, but it was more educational and not...
Right. And you know what I don't like about their description? They say live. It's not live. There's no actors in it.
No.
It's all animatronics.
Yeah.
You could say Muppet Vision 3D's live. That has an actor in it that walks out. I don't know what his name is, but
I can't remember either off the top of my head, but yeah.
He's a big teddy bear, but not a...
not a
okay. Yeah. Anyway, but like it's not live. It's not 3D. I don't know. Now that I'm older and have appreciation and understanding, it just doesn't work. It doesn't fit.
Yeah. Knowing what more Animal Kingdom is about, and it's been there for a while, but yeah. I think this was a good discussion overall.
I liked it.
Yeah. It's like we disagreed a lot, but also agreed
at the same time
on a lot of stuff. Like a lot of my love hits were your updated, which I get. I still love the attraction, but
and I think in this entire list, if you had Flight of Passage in the hate it or update it, we would have a big disagreement. But I feel like everything else is like, even because like Expedition Everest was my love it. If you had it updated, even if you hadn't had it in the hate it, okay, valid point. I think everything's movable. So this was a good point.
Yeah. And I think it definitely could shift around one way or the other, and it'd be like, yeah, okay. But I think Animal Kingdom is the only park that is like that. Is that?
Yeah, no, I agree.
That's, kind of like, oh yeah, I like it, but I could use this, but it's fine the way it is.
Right, it's fine the way it is, but I don't know. I feel like after all the other parks, I feel like they might revisit Animal Kingdom and kind of update stuff, add new stuff, and that excites me. That excites me for the future.
Yeah. All right, well, that sums up, I guess, pretty much all of our, love it, hate it, update it for the 4 parks of the attractions. The next thing we're going to get into is going to be the resorts. We're going to do just the value. We're going to touch on the value, the moderate, and the deluxe resorts. It's not going to necessarily follow the same format where we each have 2, because for the values, there's only, 5 resorts. Right. So, we'll just talk about them overall, and then we'll
give it a label.
Yeah, like a ranking of them. So stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review, as it helps us improve the show. And as always, be sure to subscribe to our podcast and follow us on Facebook. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.